Hi, I'm Jennifer of Celtic Knot Crochet, and today I'm going to show you how to make the mandala portion of the Mandala Driftwood Decoration. This is a very simple, quick mandala. There are several included inside the project, so it's good that they don't take a long time to put together. I use embroidery floss for it, so I wanted to show you first what I do to prepare the embroidery floss for crocheting. So the embroidery floss, you can find it at any craft store. I like the DMC kind, 25, and it comes like this, less than $1 to buy one. And I slide these labels off, and then I take note. See where the UPC symbol is? There is a number. That is a color number. I write that down, and I save all of the pieces in a plastic sandwich bag like so, because I don't want to misplace the number, and if I run out and need the same exact number and shade, this is the best way to remember what I've used, because once you're in the store, everything has a way of looking the same. So I do that with all the colors that I use for a project, and then if I need any later, I have them already all organized. I take the skein after the labels have been removed, and I carefully open it up, and you'll see that it creates a loop like this, and then I slide that loop over my hand and have it around my wrist. And then I take an index card and I write the number of the color. Now I know this one doesn't match, just using it for example, but I write the number of the color down and put a little slit in the card so the end of the thread gets snug in there and doesn't slip out. And then I wind it around like this. And I keep it on my wrist, and I do both hands at the same time sometimes. And I wind it up. And after that, you have all of the thread on a card. It's not tangled. If you do not do this step, the yarn will tangle and you'll have to cut it and start over. And then for this project, I'm using a very small hook, size 7 or 1.5 millimeter. Now I did make a video with this thread and this hook, but it was very hard to see all the stitches because it is so tiny. So I'm going to do it with a larger hook and larger yarn, so you can see how I did the adjustable ring in the center and the cluster stitches to make these petals and all the other stitches. Okay, so what you need to do first to make the center of this mandala is you need to make an adjustable ring. I have a video describing this whole thing, just this. You can see the link to that in the description. So this is kind of quick. Let me back this up a little bit so you can see more. So you wrap the yarn around your hand, hold it at the top, then you take your hook and go through the loop you just made and grab the yarn tail that's lying down there and you pull it through, and then you do a chain 1 to lock the loop in place. And now you do chain 5, and then you do a double crochet right into the ring, right into that hole, and then you chain 2 and you double crochet in that hole again. And I'm going to do that so I have a total of 10 double crochets with chain 2s in between. Move these out of the way here. Now, if you have not worked with embroidery thread before for crochet, or you haven't used anything smaller than medium weight yarn, I recommend trying this pattern first with your favorite maybe H, I, or J size hook and some scrap yarn that you have, so you get the hang of the stitches before you try them with the small thread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 4 more. I think this here would be my last one. So this is how your project will look before you tighten the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I have to do 2 more chains because I need a space in between each of those double crochets. I pull the yarn tail, and that eliminates that big gap in the middle. And then here's my starting chain 5, so I want to find the 3rd chain in that. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do a slip stitch, which is hook in, yarn over, pull through that loop and the loop on your hook. It's a joining and invisible stitch, and now I have the first round completed. The second round we're going to fill in all of these chain 2 spaces. So I'm going to first slip stitch into that first chain 2 space, so my hook is where I want to start, and I chain 3 because I need that for the height of the first double crochet. And now I'm going to do 2 more double crochets right in this same space, and it's really going to make that space pop out. And then I'm going to skip this double crochet and work in this next space. And now I'm going to do 3 double crochets in there. And I'm going to continue like that all the way around, skipping the double crochets and doing 3 double crochets in each space. So here I am, I've gone all the way around, and I just have 1 more chain 2 space left. So I'm going to do the last 3 double crochets in there. And then here I have my starting chain 3, and I'm going to find the very top, the 3rd chain, and I'm going to do another slip stitch to close up the circle. Hook in, yarn over, pull through that loop and through the one on my hook. Now I have a nice circle with a starburst in the middle. So now the next row, the next round, you can see now we're going to create the pointy petals, and that's done with a cluster stitch. That's probably the most difficult part of this mandala. So now I'm going to chain 2. That slip stitch put me in the right spot to start, and I'm going to do this cluster over the next 2 stitches. And a cluster is basically taking half of several stitches and then combining them all at the top, and that's what gives you the point. So I'm going to do a partial double crochet, yarn over, put my hook in, yarn over, pull through base, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm not going to finish the double crochet, I'm just going to leave that loop hanging out there. And then I'm going to do that again in the next stitch. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull through the base, yarn over, pull through 2. So now I have my starting chain 2, which is the same height as these 2 half stitches. It's a double crochet, but I only completed half of it. Now that I have 3 loops on my hook, I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that gives me this nice point. Then I'm going to chain 5, and this will help separate the points. And then I'm going to do another one. Now that first one's a little different because I had to chain 2 at the beginning. All the rest, the next 9 clusters, are going to be like this one. I find my next 3 stitches, yarn over, put my hook into the first one, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, and I stop there. Now I move on to the next one. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, stop there. Last one, yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, and now I have 3 partially completed double crochets with 4 loops on my hook. Then I yarn over and pull through all 4, and that brings them together at the top in a nice point. And now I chain 5. Now I'm going to do that again. 3 stitches right here, yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull through stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull through stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. And there I have 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. Now sometimes you might get stuck pulling through so many loops on your hook. Well, the key is to push up with your hook so your hook really nestles in these loops. And the second key is to turn your hook so it's perfectly pointed downwards, so the top part of the hook is facing right into the pointed part of each loop, and then you will have no problem pulling all the way through. If you look at your hook, it's designed to pull through loops. So if you try to pull it through and your hook is this way, you're going to get caught up. So you have to make sure you turn your hook all the way down so this bottom part lines up with the point of the loop, and then you should have no problem pulling your hook through several loops at once. And you just continue those clusters all the way around. Now once you've come to the end, you've done your 10 clusters all the way around with chain 5s in between. The last thing you do is chain 5 again, and now you need to find the top of the first cluster you made, and you'll slip stitch right inside that. Insert your hook, pull through the top, and pull through the loop on your hook, and now it's joined into a nice circle. This next row you will be filling in all of these chain 5 spaces. So the first thing you want to do is chain 1 and double crochet in that same place that you put the slip stitch. And now we're going to work 5 single crochets in this space. So I just put my hook right in there and do 5 single crochets. Single crochet, hook in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Hook in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Hook in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And it really helps that space pop out and separates the pointed clusters. Then you're going to put another single crochet in the top of the next cluster, and then you're going to do 5 more again in the next space. And you continue like that all the way around. Single crochet in the next cluster, and then 5 in the next space. Now you can see I've gone all the way around, and I'm coming up on that very first single crochet, and just like all the other rounds, I'm going to put my hook in that first stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch and through my loop on the hook, and that closes up the circle nicely. Now my last round is just going to be this nice lacy edging, and it's just done simply with a bunch of chain 5s and slip stitches all the way around. So now that I've completed the next to last round, I'm just going to do the last round with chain 5, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to skip 2 stitches and slip stitch in the next one, which will be the middle. Then I'm going to chain 5 again. I skip 2 stitches again, and now I'm going to slip stitch in the next stitch. And you can see now for every chain 5 space that I did on the cluster row, I'm going to have 2 chain 5 lacy loops, and I'm going to do that all the way around. So I'll do a couple more for you. Chain 5, skip 2 stitches in the next stitch, which is also the middle one, slip stitch. Sorry, my mini mandala's in the way. And then chain 5 again, and slip stitch here, and I go all the way around, and then I would slip stitch back in that first stitch again. And there is the mandala for the Mandala Driftwood Decoration, and here is the actual size for the project. Thanks for watching.